Okay. 3, 2, 1. It's Aloha Monday. Gonna swim, bike, and run day. This is breakfast with Bob.
Yeah.
Okay, one more time, Mark, but we're gonna go chee, okay?
Is that working, Dave? It is.
Chee, chee. It's Aloha Monday. Gonna swim, bike, and run day. Chee. One more time. It's Aloha Monday. Gonna swim, bike, and run day. Chee. One last time. It's Aloha Monday. Gonna swim, bike, and run day. Chee. You're fired. One last time. It's Aloha Monday. Gonna swim, bike, and run day. Chee. That's with Bob.
Oh, yeah.
We need tequila shots.
There we go. That's way better, yeah. You go so close, it's like when you're at the ballpark and you get that, you're talking to the mic.
Right.
When you call your wife and she's in the minivan and she puts it on speaker.
Yeah.
And then every time you talk, you hear yourself talking.
Oh, it drives you nuts. I remember once being in a ballpark and like every time you start talking, you didn't hear anything. And then
That was
it
fun.
And then you sort of drop off.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
That speaker is loud, yeah.
that's good.
I mean, I have been barely.
I told you, it's a hot rod.
I like it.
All right,
We're good?
40 seconds.
Okay. That's swim, that's a long ass way. You did the whole thing? You did the whole thing. Hour and 26. But Makiki said last year she went 57, this year she went 103. Exactly, one and change.
Chee.
20 seconds.
Everybody, welcome to Breakfast with Bob. I forgot.
It's his first
First
day.
time.
Let the star.
Sorry.
That's right. That's why we rehearsed.
Sorry, we rehearsed.
Yes, it's Bob's first
Call
day.
them.
Right. We've been so long, we did all the other ones without Poncho. I'm like, oh, I forget we got the real guy back.
Okay.
20 seconds.
Go, Heidi. Good. Heidi can hear the rhythm from back there.
I like it.
Okay. 40 seconds.
Oh shit! It's almost
Come on, it's drumming.
My hand's getting cramped. It's holding the microphone, dude. Don't you have stands for these damn things?
30 seconds.
Sorry, Dave.
All right, dude.
You know, I think that was the first Bob jumped the gun ever that I've worked with.
20 seconds.
That is.
It's Aloha Monday, gonna swim, bike, and run day. Chee! It's breakfast with Bob.
Take 3.
Oh, what? Oh man, making me work today.
I know, right? Jeez,
It's Monday. It's Monday.
I want Mark every first time.
It's been a while since Jeff
He
did
won't
that
hold us
too.
against us here.
Now watch, I'm gonna screw up.
Yeah. Get them all done now. All right, 40 seconds.
Right? That's time. It's time for another shot.
We've been out of 2 steps like 3 days in a row.
Oh, nice. How's that, Bob?
See the refuge? Oh, so beautiful.
Right?
So many.
30 seconds.
You're saying golf, you still saw my City Refuge.
20 seconds.
You're not counting right.
No, this is a ballpark. 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
It's Aloha Monday. Gonna swim, bike, and run day. Chee! Cause it's breakfast with Bob. Woo! Chee!
And Pancho Man! Welcome everybody back to 12th edition Breakfast with Bob from beautiful Huggos on the Rocks. 12 years in a row.
edition.
Yeah, 12 years I think we've been doing this. Actually, it might be 14. Something like that.
I
A
love
lot.
that number 12.
That's a good number, right?
I raced here 12 times.
You race here 12 times. And, by the way, we are brought to you by Master Spas. As fuels no longer, Hoka Let's Fly, DeBoer wetsuits, Form Smart Swim Goggles, Zoot Sports, the original triathlon brand, Katana Roo, Premium Source, and of course our Challenge Athletes Foundation. He has won here 6 times. He's won the Nice Triathlon 10 times. He's inductee into the USA Triathlon Hall of Fame, the Ironman Hall of Fame, won the first ever US ITU World Championship in Avignon, France. Mr. Mark Allen.
Wow.
How you doing, buddy?
Where is he?
You're looking around going,
I don't recognize him anymore.
that sounds like a lot of stuff, man.
Gray hair and wrinkles, you know what I'm saying?
You're going to have to continue your business card on the other side. There's a lot of stuff going on
I
there.
know. Wow, like 12 years for Breakfast with Bob. I raced here 12 times. 6 were good, 6 were like, whew, oh boy. Andrew Messick,
Yes.
CEO for 12 years, retiring this year.
Yes.
I think that's a magic number for the sport of triathlon.
It's really good. I think it's very special. Speaking of the number 1, first time here, you were there watching her win St. George 7.3 Worlds last year, right? You were there in Paris watching her qualify for her second Olympic Games, which you got to do. Yep. Then you just watched her win her second 70.3 World Championship in London, Finland. Taylor Knibb is the wild card. Coming here, never run a marathon, never done an Ironman, but she qualified by winning 70.3 Worlds. She's here, and she's going to be a factor.
You know, it's super interesting because she has all of the tools of what it takes to be champion here. Clearly, she's very she's diligent with her training. She knows her body. She looks at every little detail, not necessarily in an obsessive way, but just in a very pragmatic performance way.
Right.
She looks at everything. She takes care of her body in the race. Like, you know, she's one of the athletes that stop to put socks on because she goes, I know if I have blisters, I don't run as fast. I'll save it. I'll make that time up later. That kind of a thing. She's coming into this race, super excited about it. She's got one of the best swims in the sport. I don't know if I want to say the best, but she's for sure going to be, I think, right there with Lucy. Her bike, in my opinion, is the best in the sport at this point in time. Probably the best ever cyclist
Wow.
in the sport triathlon. And I have heard through the grapevine from her coach and others that even though she qualified for the Olympics, she's super fast, but she's actually kind of a diesel in it.
Yes.
She can just go and go and go and go. And so, and here's the kicker part. She's fearless.
Totally fearless.
She's fearless. Like she was pitted against Daniela Reef in
First Collins Cup.
in the first Collins
That's
Cup.
right.
And instead of being intimidated, she was like super excited.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I get to race Daniela Reef. She's the best ever. And she was bummed when Daniela didn't have a great race there. She goes, I don't know if I'll ever get to race her again. She's got a chance coming up here on Saturday.
That's really, and then when she came there, that Collins Cup race, everybody was laughing, talking, oh, she doesn't have a time trial bike. She's riding a road bike. And she outsplit everybody. on her road bike. She probably killed triathlon bike sales for that year when she basically got on a road bike and destroyed everybody.
Yeah, mind-boggling, absolutely mind-boggling. So I think she could be the disruptor this year. You know, we have the names of the races. Have won here before.
Yes.
Those 3 Cup champions. Anna Howe is here.
Yep.
Chelsea Segura won last year.
Daniela Reeve, going 5, going for number 6.
And you know, and I think each one of those has clearly they have what it would take to win if the conditions are right for sort of their strength. Like so, you know, what I have seen in the past is that it seems like if the bike is pretty hard, that actually can favor the really good runners because everybody's just out there longer, it tires them out, and they have less to put into the marathon. Look at Lori Bowden, look at Heather Fear. They both won a number of years ago on some of the worst windy days we've ever had. 2 great runners. So I'm looking at Annie Howe just like, okay, she's up to biking for sure.
Big time.
And so she doesn't even need to have to be a bad day, but she can run as fast, if not faster than anybody. Chelsea Segura last year, you know, one of the reasons I look at her as one of the top 2 favorites. She and her coach had decided, okay, here's how fast we want you to, that we're going to target on the marathon. You know, here's the pace that we want you to target. And that's where coach the 2 of them decided. She got out there, she started running, she's like, I'm going faster than that. So she's not afraid to go beyond the numbers, and she is willing to kind of take that extra risk, and look at what happened last year. Absolutely dominated that race. It was so amazing. Perfect form mother to the marathon. Daniela Reeve, you know, 5-time champion, 4-time winning here. She's got to be thinking, you know, 6 would be a pretty cool number, and it put me in a league with some other.
Somebody who happens to be on the island.
Yeah,
it was funny when we were in Challenge Roth. Who came over to watch Challenge Roth? Chrissy Wellington. So at that point, her AA team was the fastest time ever for a woman. And who goes 8:08 that day? Daniela Reeve. Natasha's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, 6-time champion from Switzerland, happens to be here, and Daniela's going for number 6. Sometimes things just are meant to be.
Yeah, and you know, if I think back on my career, when I got toward the end, you just have that feeling like, you know, I'm not going to have many more opportunities. So it really almost frees you up to just put that little bit of extra in because you know that you're not saving anything for next year, next race, next 3 races, next 3 Ironmans, whatever it is. I don't know what her ultimate plan is. But if I was her, I would be thinking of any year to win. Not only would it be cool to win at this point in my career, but also because this race is just so historic, having the women only racing Ironman Championship right here.
So when I look at Daniela, and when she's had her, like last year, she goes to Oceanside, gets disqualified, and finished 10th. It's a 70.3, and people are like, she's done. She's not going to be a factor anymore. Then she had a solid month, went to Sedona, very similar terrain to St. George, and destroyed it, right? And when she has that block of time, same with Challenge Rock, she had that block of time to get ready for Challenge Rock. Now, I was surprised she went to Lhasa, to be honest. I thought she would have just stayed home and focused on this, but I think she wanted to, you know, maybe work on her speed a little bit. I don't think she was that bummed by how she did there, because this is the goal. And she knows next year the women are going to be in Nice, which I think is a good course for her as well. Really great course for her. She rides in the mountains all the time. But to win here, and make, like you're right, she might be here. This might be her last time here.
You know, she's had some up and down moments throughout her career.
Yes.
And you know, her down moments are when she's off, she's off. It's not like she goes from first to second. She goes
The 13th.
Yeah, she goes down the list. And when she crossed the line in Finland, you know, she tried to put on kind of a resolute face, I guess you'd say, and you know, she saw some of her team.
She was not very happy.
She was not happy, and I'm sure she's kind of used that sort of frustration to fuel the fires, getting ready for this. You know, and perhaps she's one of those kind of athletes that kind of does better when people sort of write her off and say, oh, like she said, you know,
Her godson.
Her godson was like, oh, she used to win.
She used to be good at the triathlon.
Well, I have news for you. She's still good at triathlon.
So we've seen Jan Frodeno just retired, Seb Batts and Keeneland just retired. As somebody who's been there, you know, you come out you came out on top. You had the type of finish to a career that everybody dreams about. Last time doing Ironman, you're 14 minutes down, you come back, you win, drop the mic, I'm done. Most people figure, oh, he's not really done, he'll come back. You've never come back. One, was that difficult, and two, for someone like Jan, who didn't have the race he wanted, went to Nice and wanted to have that great race, was probably very emotional all week. I was talking to his agent Felix, and he was talking about reading emails, you get teary. A lot of emotion went into that. Where I think when you came here for that last one, you had already resigned something. This is my last one. When I'm 10 miles into that run, I'm done, right? I know I only have 16 more miles. I'll never run again.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was certainly easier to make that decision before the race started and stick with it after winning.
Yes.
And it would have been, had I got another first. But I knew that if I got second, third, fourth, any number other than one, I still had to have that be my last race. Because I just knew, you know, you get pretty, I think, good at kind of tuning in your body over the years as a top pro. And you know, you get injured all the time, you know, and I had a pretty good string of not getting injured.
Right.
So, and I wanted to exit the sport uninjured, not burned out, healthy. Because I knew that, okay, I'm in my late 30s. Hopefully I'll have another 20, 30, 40 years of lifestyle exercise.
Exactly.
And I'd seen a number of top cyclists, runners, triathletes, endurance athletes training in Boulder, Colorado, who went for many years, and you know, they go down that slippery slope on the other side. Like, oh, one more race. And emotionally they get frustrated because they don't ever get it. And then, but more importantly, a lot of times they would sort of break the engine, you know, and then they were stuck with sort of health issues that linger for years and years and years. So anyway, Jan clearly would have been much easier to say, last dance, I'm done. Had he crossed that line in the first place, much harder emotionally, put it into the kind of perspective box that says, okay, you know what, I called it, I did it, that is how it turned out, and let's not dwell on that and say that was my career, because everything led up to that moment is what made that decision so great.
Right.
Winning gold medal, winning 7.3 world, winning Ironman, setting world best time at Iron distance, setting record here on the course here in Kona.
Right.
His last time out.
Yeah.
There's no shame in that, and nobody will remember him for his final racing. He will be remembered for the amazing athlete that he was for 3 decades. 3 decades.
So when I look at the athletes now from the male side, and, you know, Sam Laidlaw and Matt Stephen, it used to be guys who come in like Jan Frodeno. Jan Frodeno goes through the Olympic format, he wins his gold, then 2012 comes back again, and then moves on, like 31 years old or so when he moves on to this longer distance. That was sort of the way it was done. But now these guys are going, you know what, I don't really want to do Olympic format, I want to go long. And they're going fast and long right away, right?
Yeah. You know, actually when Laidlaw won, that brought up a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
People were like, wow, you know, he's too young to just like jump into Ironman. He's only 24, and you know, you need to progress through the sport. And I heard some ex-athletes saying, yeah, you know, I had a 20-year career because I started short and went long. And I stood back for a second and I go, let's actually look at this. Because I think it's a really interesting question to pose. Is it unhealthy for a young person to in your early 20s? Is that unhealthy or not? Is it healthier to do Olympic distance racing first and then move on? And I looked at my career. First time I did Ironman, I was 24.
Exactly.
Yep. I did short and long at the same time. I exited the sport, never missing a race because of an injury. You can look at guys who built their way up to the distances who completely failed at it. You can look at like Alex Brown. 2 gold medals, moves up, you know, through 7.3 Ironman, but he's been injured over and over and over and over. So obviously my bike's so healthy. You know, Javier Gomez, same thing. Came up through the ranks, short when he was young, came up, did 7.3, did Ironman, had a big stretch where he couldn't race because of heart issues. He's bad racing, but again, you know, that clearly does not necessarily mean that you're going to be healthy to progress up through that. Look at the young people, or the people who only did short racing, who did it, you know, they break down, they're into, look at, you know, Georgia Taylor Brown, or, you know, our gold medalist from...
Oh, Quinn?
No. From Bermuda, come on.
Oh, you're Florida. Okay.
Florida, those two have not gone into long distance racing. Neither of them have basically raced this year at all. So just because you're going short when you're young and building up long later doesn't
mean you're automatically going to be healthy throughout the process.
And if you start at long distance when you're young doesn't mean that that's going to mean you either.
Right.
So then I pulled the lens back even further and I said, okay, so what's the real deal here? The real deal has to do with recovery. It doesn't matter whether you're going short, long, medium distance, building up, starting long, never going short, starting short, going long. If you don't build up in enough recovery into your training, into your racing, it will come back to bite you. And so that ultimately is what will determine whether your progression within the sport is healthy or not.
One of the things that I saw back in the day is you had folks getting into, like Pete Jacobs, right? Pete Jacobs started with the long distance, and I think he did 31 Ironman by the time he was 30 years old, something like that. It's a lot of Ironman, and I think there's a point of diminishing return where you know you can burn yourself out. In marathon, Brian Hall, he did 10 marathons between 2007 and 2011. All of them were 204.58 to 2012. So we're talking high quality. Didn't do a lot of marathons, but that's a lot of marathons at a high level. And then career's over, right? Move on.
Yeah.
So you're seeing both, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Someone can come in and be dominant for Chrissy Wellington from the same type of thing, 2007, 2011, undefeated, 13-0, and hangs it up because she's had all these high quality races. Every athlete's gonna be a little different in terms of how they address their career.
Yeah, it's a matter of how long do you want to race?
Right.
How often do you want to race? How often do you want to be at the top of the podium? And be realistic about all of this and build in your recovery to match your goal. And that's kind of what I did. Like I would, my last, big race of the year obviously was Kona every year in October. And so I would ramp things way down. I would decondition November, December. It's not like I sat in a chair all the time. I was active, but I didn't do anything in training that was targeting being purely just the joy of moving,
surfing,
yeah, doing a little bit of running, walking on the trails, whatever. So I had a long off season. A lot of people, especially now, they take 2 weeks easy, and they're like, "Okay, it's time to get back at it." It's like
Ironman Florida, yeah. They're going, yeah.
Are you kidding me? And then secondly, you have to look at the number of miles you race every year. You know, and the intensity that you race those miles at.
Yes.
So if you're going Olympic distance, clearly super high intensity, that's going to take a toll. You don't spread that out over the year. Same with Ironman. You do too many, obviously, in 1 year, and you peak at them, you're going to pay a price. You're going to grow. So it's all about that balance of have your dream, go for it, stretch, go for the limit, but be a professional recovery.
So one story that always intrigued me is back in the day, Chris McCormick, early in the season, would win Ironman Australia, and then he would go and do Nice or Frankfurt, he would do Roth or Frankfurt, and then he'd come to Kona and blow to the moon, right? His track record was dropping out, so walking, all that type of stuff. And then I think you had some conversations with him and basically said, hey, early season, if you're training to do Ironman Australia, which is in April, whatever the heck that is, you're training in the winter, right? In our winter. And then if you're training again for Roth or Frankfurt, the reality is you can't peak 3 times in a year. That's simplifying your message, but something like that.
Yeah, he was frustrated because he could win everywhere but here.
Yeah.
I know that. I know that feeling.
Can you identify?
Yeah, I can relate. But his reasons for not winning were different than mine. Like you said, he would go into those early season same type of shape that I had to work all year to get at by October.
Right.
So I said, go ahead and do them, but first of all, go into the heavies and go into the slightly train so that you're still on the rise. You don't want to hit the top in the middle of the summer and try to do it again in October. You can pull that out. Build throughout it. So finally, he surrendered and he did that, and he won.
Yeah.
And he put big old sponges in his thing.
It ruined his photo.
Yeah, he said he had to come back and win that second one so that, he got that photo.
But that was the deal. So when he went to Roth with 10 extra pounds, he still won the race, even though he was not in shape. Yeah. And after, what was the conversation with him after he won, even though he was out of shape?
Well, after he won Kona, that's when the conversation was like, all right.
I get it now. I get it. And that changed everything for him. And the other guys, Tim DeBoom, there's been a number of folks that you give Peter Reed, right? A lot of times you're dealing with athletes who, Tim O'Donnell, working with Tim. Sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's mental. How do you address those athletes and getting them to have that peak performance?
Usually at a top pro, there's only one or two small things that they need to change to get that last notch that will take them from third to first, second to first. But whatever those one or two things are that they need to change are usually the hardest things for them to do. If they were easy, they would have already done it.
Right.
And so, I've had conversations with a number of people, Peter Reed, Jim Boone, McCormick, to get them to just change a couple of key things. And, when they finally go, okay, that's when it clicks. And I don't have the magic answer for everybody.
Right.
But, and I was just thinking something about the aging thing. So I look back at, everybody said that Sam Laidlaw was the youngest champion of national championship. Perhaps for the men, but then I look at the women. Olivia Fraser was also 24 when she won her first world championship.
How old was Kathleen McCartney? She might have been younger.
So Paula was 24 and 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah, Sam was 24 and 7 or 9 months. So she was younger than Sammy. But then I started going back even further in history. Kathleen McCartney, when she won in 1982, was 20 years old. The next year, Sylvia Pintos won. She was 20 years old.
Right, and how about Julie Leach? She must have been pretty young. She's a little older. Okay. So Kathleen was 20.
You had two women who were 20 years old.
So it's okay to go. And of course, option-wise, there weren't a ton of options doing racing, right?
They couldn't even go have a Mai Tai.
Rip, as always, thank you for taking so much time, man. I love it. Poncho Man, take us out. Woo! Gee!
It's Aloha Monday, gonna swim, bike, and run day. Gee! Thus it's breakfast with Bob.
Thank you, Poncho Man. Lovely Heidi, the world's fittest woman. Photo.
Yeah.
Go. Poncho.
Oh, you guys are perfect. You guys have done this once or twice.
Let me give you my phone. Hold on. Don't go anywhere.
Great job, Poncho.
Thank you, brother Bob.
All right. Hi, you guys. There's my seatmates flying over here.
Okay.
This is a really good looking photo.
Thank you.
All right. Oh,
Oh man.
that's good looking, huh? Look at the color on that, man. That's a good camera.
I gotta bring you in carpet, bro.
I like it. Let's say hi to these folks. Hi, you guys.
Good morning. See you in person. We always watch you.
Oh, thank you. And I will be honored. You're a full day.
What's your day like today, Mark? Yeah, thank you, brother. What you doing today? Running around everywhere? Oh, nice, nice. be hot and gnarly like the end of September.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I rarely use my air conditioning through the whole month of September. But then just like this past week, it's starting to warm down. Finally, October, November.
Nice. All right, well, you guys got full schedule. Like we're always doing the first day.
All right, brother Mark, have a good one.
The beginning of the video, he's going.
I'm not there.
Wow, boy, that was, thank God it was, thank God that was the one that I was But I kept it going. Yeah. Yeah, that first one out the gate's always hard. It's hard to bottom.
That was funny. Usually, I don't remember there was ever a first, maybe one, but then Bob went right there. And then I was like,
But he's used to
right.
used to me playing.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's
Must have played buffering out.
Okay, one down. You're still live. Hey.
Oh shit.
Hey, what's up?
Now we know what to do.
Now, you're going to meet Pancho's cousin?
Oh, bro.
I'm,
Come down here, Shelly.
yeah, Shelly, get over here.
And Kelly.
And Kelly.
Hello, guys. We out of here.